What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So in a previous video, you may have remembered that I got some retro video games, these 5 Super Nintendo games plus 5 loose games, and these were gifted to me by my father-in-law. Now, unfortunately, these did have some water damage to the boxes, but more specifically the manuals and the inserts. And I asked everyone in the comment section if you could give me some ideas on how to get those manuals looking better. They were completely stiff, basically one sheet of wrinkled, hard paper from just being around moisture in an unfinished basement. So I just want to update you on the progress of restoring those manuals and trying to get them just in a better condition, make them more pliable, make the pages come apart, and just see how far I've come. All right, so just really briefly, I wanted to give you a little bit of before, and then we can do some after. So here's Lord of the Rings. Now this one's actually stuck. It's literally stuck to the bottom of this box. Can't even get it apart. So, yeah, it's pretty crispy.
But your socks sure are crispy.
Here's Mega Man X. Wow. That's really, really bad. Just like a sheet of glass.
Look, another crispy sock. No, thank you.
Here's Donkey Kong. Now it's a couple of pages you can actually open, but it's also in pretty rough shape.
Crispy socks here, crispy socks there.
And then here's Arrow the Acrobat. So that pretty much is by itself. Yeah, pretty gnarly.
I can't even open this swimsuit issue.
And this one here is pretty bad as well. So I'm going to take these over to the iron and just show you a technique that I used. So first and foremost, I wanted to thank everyone who watched that video and was kind enough to leave a comment or a suggestion on how to restore these manuals. Now, the consensus seemed to be that Steam was the best option here, and I ended up using 2 methods using Steam, and I'll get to that other one here in a bit. And this first option here is just using my trusty Rowenta iron, nothing fancy. I've had this thing for years, and I just basically kind of overfilled it with water and put it on the Steam setting so I could sort of hands-free hold the manual up and kind of fine-tune where I wanted the steam to go. But this was taking a lot longer than I anticipated. I think total time here was probably about 15 minutes, which, you know, you don't want to rush this, but at the same time, I don't want to stand here for 15 minutes, you know, and mess with this. So I did modify the process a little bit as we go forward, but you can see here, you know, I'm slowly working page by page. I end up having to basically now do almost direct contact. I ended up putting a towel over top because, you know, you can pretty much get it in half right away. Once you get it in half, getting those individual pages, the left to right, each individual one takes a lot more, you know, time, and I ended up just, you know, putting direct pressure on. So the second one I'm doing now here is Donkey Kong Country. Now this one was already kind of coming apart to begin with, but for some reason, these pages just did not want to cooperate. Now, I don't know if maybe starting off with direct pressure was a bad idea because I was trying to speed up the process. I'm not really sure, but these were pretty much fused together in a lot of spots, and the more I work with it, it just didn't seem to help. They just stayed together and never really wanted to separate. So you can see there's some tearing there, and that's really, really unfortunate, but it is what it is. You know, I did manage, you know, to get it in decent shape. You can see here it's a lot more pliable than it was. So then I thought, okay, well, I do have a clothes steamer. Let's try that one. Now, this is really nice if you have one. Now, not everybody has one. Maybe somebody you know has one, you could borrow it. This is the method I would prefer. Now, you're still probably going to want to use an iron, even though you only have, say you only have a clothes steamer. I would still suggest you're going to need to have and iron as well, because once you're done with this, they're not pretty. You're going to have to then iron them flat, but most people do have an iron, or they know about somebody that has one. And it may look like I'm just destroying these things, but I urge you to stick around to the end because you're going to be pleasantly surprised at the results. And here's that one that was stuck to the actual tray insert. It came off fairly simple, and you know, it didn't take that long. Now, this thing's putting out just a shit ton of steam, so you really have to be careful, but this process just seemed to really speed things up, and it was almost kind of fun at seeing the progress, and just feeling those pages just peel away was so satisfying. All right, so now the only thing left to do is to iron these out and put them under some heavy weight for 24 hours. All right, so we're back. It's been about 24 hours. I'm gonna check these manuals out to see what we got. So first off, you'll see that there's still a lot of, you know, wrinkles in there, but that's something that you can't avoid. But what you will notice is just how flexible they are. This one turned out really well. Considering where it was, this one too. You can kind of scroll the pages. Really good. Right, here are the rest. And this one didn't turn out too bad. Now, Lord of the Rings, this is the one that was stuck to that box. Yeah, overall, pretty good. You can actually kind of bend them now. You couldn't do none of that before. Here's the information booklet. Yeah, it's you can easily unfold it. And Donkey Kong Country. Now, this was the one I had the problem with. You can see here there's some good pages and some bad pages. But yeah, there we go. So let's wrap this up. All right, guys, as you saw in the before and after, I think these turned out fantastic. This was a huge success. I'm gonna take the win on this. Are they perfect? Absolutely not. But are they much improved? For sure. These are probably now, I would say, 50% better than they were. I'm really happy how Aero the Acrobat and Mega Man X turned out. Yes, they do have wrinkles, but they just feel like manuals now. They are a little wavy, sure, but you're not going to get paper perfect. Once it gets wet like that, there's really not a whole lot you can do. And I think I did the best that I could with what I had. Now, of the two methods, obviously the clothing steamer was the best. It was faster. It just had more steam coming out. You do have to be careful because it can burn your hands. But that was definitely the one that I would recommend. Now, what you can take from this is use what you have. Don't go and buy something if you don't have it. If all you got's a pot and some water, then just use that. I would probably say the boiling pot of water would be the third choice because it's going to put out a lot hotter steam and you could drop that manual in there accidentally. And then you're going to be in worse shape than you were before. But if all you got's an iron, then go ahead and use it. It's going to take you a little bit longer. You may have to put direct pressure on it. But yeah, that clothes steamer just got so much steam out, and you can really control how you want it to hit this manual. But I really think it added a lot of value. Now, the one that was really disappointing was Donkey Kong Country. As you can see, I don't know if I just didn't take my time or if I put too much steam or not enough. I'm not really sure. And maybe no matter what I did, this thing was just fused together and it never would have, you know, come out the way the other ones did. I really don't know. And this one was actually probably in the best shape prior to ironing and using steam than the other ones. But for some reason, it just didn't turn out that way. Now, certain pages did turn out well, but for the most part, this one, you know, it's just okay, I guess. Even this information booklet turned out really well. Very happy with that. And I would take these over no manual any day. As you can see now, They're just like paper. Before, it just looked like they were made of glass. And you know, they're never going to be perfect, but this is a huge improvement. All right, guys, so hopefully you took something from this, and if you want to try it yourself, this gives you the confidence to do it. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really helps out. All right, guys, I will see you all next time. Thanks so much for watching.
Peace.